Welcome back, and time for a special interview that we did promise you. It's with a player that played 4 AFCONs, 4 Africa Cup of Nations tournaments, different tournaments that is, with the DRC. Also spent a bulk of his time playing out in Europe, of course, representing the African continent. That is Tresor Lomana LuaLua. Had a chance to sit down and have a chat with him. Let's find out more about that. Firstly, thank you so much, Tresor, for taking the time to join us here on Game On. Now, many youngsters, when they think or dream of becoming footballers, they dream of a career close to yours, something that resembles your career. Can you tell us how it all started for you in as far as football?
First of all, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. We're always there to try to guide those youngsters by telling them our story. So it's always nice for them to know, for them to also realize, that it's not impossible. So, but on my case, I've never dreamed of becoming a footballer. I never England. So a lot of people say I'm more English than I am Congolese before, but now, I've been going back home. I've been, settling in Congo. So, so I started, it wasn't actually my dad that didn't buy me a football boot. He was a he was a school teacher. My school teacher's name was David Hatt. He's the one that God sent him in my way to push me to become a footballer. So it was, like I said, it was something that I never dreamed of. Yeah.
Now, you say you got to England when you were 9. Obviously, played most of your career in England, so all of it. But what's it like then playing overseas, but also then going back home to represent DR Congo? What was that experience like when you have to balance those two?
I was lucky enough to, when playing in Colchester, from Colchester, I was brought to Newcastle. So it's when I was playing in Newcastle, that's when they saw me, and that's why they called me up to represent my country, Congo, which I didn't think twice, because I remember when my dad was playing, he played for the national team.
Now, before I let you go, I have to ask you this question. My producer did some research, of course, ahead of this interview, and he says you're cousins with Yannick Bolasie. Firstly, is that true?
Yes, yeah.
And secondly, who's the better footballer in your opinion, you or Yannick Bolasie?
I say hello to Jan. I love Jan, but you have to understand, very good player, very good player, talent. But when you talk, I'm a what do you call it? I follow the George Weah, the JVW Football Club. It's a different football. It's a different talent. Yes. What Yannick can do, I can do it. But what I can do, he cannot do. So it's like a different, we played with, there was one coach when I was playing for, I was in England, Ian Holloway. He managed Yannick in Crystal Palace. I was with him in Blackpool. And if you asked him, he said Yannick, very good player. But he said Lua was a genius. So there's a difference, like I say, this generation don't have the talents that, listen, we had JJ Okocha, we had
legends.
Kanu, we had George Weah. I'm talking before even me and Drogba and Eto'o and these people that they are barely. We had people that like very talented. Even I can talk about South Africa. You had Pinar. You have all these like skillful players, like which we don't have it now. Football is not as entertainment as it was before. You know it. We all know it.
But we all know it.
We accept it's a different generation. Listen, Bafana. Remember Bafana when they used to play? Remember
this team is back in the 90s,
Dr. Kuma.
Yes,
you had all
back in the 90s.
Come on, man. Tell me the Dr. Kuma now. Come on.
No one comes close. No one comes close.
We love him. We respect him, but it's a different talent. Now it's not talent. Now it's all about athletics. Who run fast? Who that? Come on, man. No. Before it was like, take the ball, come. Let me show you what was all about.
Tresor, I would like to thank you so much for taking the time to join us here on Game, and also thank you for all you've done throughout your career in helping the African game grow. And again, thank you for your lovely words and for remembering some of our legends as well here on the continent. May the future always see you stay blessed.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Well, time to keep things moving along. And for those of you that may have missed it, the Hollywood-based Super League has been moving along quite nicely with Mamelodi Sundowns currently in the league on the log standings. But our Hollywood-based Super League team focus this week is with JVW, Janine van Veek's team. Find out more about that now.
South African football is filled with clubs who carry the names of their legendary founders, with Kaizer Chiefs and Jomo Cosmos springing to mind, and the Hollywood Bet Super League is no different, with one in particular standing out, JVW Football Club. Founded by the iconic former Banyana Banyana captain Janine van Veek, this is a club built on excellence, hard work, and a commitment to the game that is hard to find.
You know, when you hear JVW, I mean, I sometimes forget that it's my own name. But I'm truly proud of how far this club has come. A decade later, you have a full-on development program running. You have close to 100 girls participating under the banner of JVW. You have the first team competing at the highest league for women's football in the Hollywood Bet Super League. And that is what the development is about. That's what this program and this club is about, is to produce talent and to produce the future of women's football.
While many household names have played for this storied club, there's also a culture of breeding the stars of tomorrow, which bodes well for the Hollywood Bet Super League and, of course, women's football as a whole in South Africa.
It comes down to the grassroots. You know, every player that joins JVW, there's a certain caliber that is expected of each player. You don't just come into this team. We're more of a family, but there's a structure. I think we have high standards. There's high standards from the development to the first team, and with that, you're going to get the best out of each player. There's a lot of goals individually and collectively. A lot of the teams, a lot of the players aspire to play for the national team, and that's what this team is all about.
3 years ago, our national players were our backbone. Everything revolved around them. But now, 3 years down the line, when my national players go on camp, the standard stays the same. The level has really climbed. And the youngsters that we brought up from the Sasol team this year were primed. A couple of them were in the side already. And I said they're not ready. We pushed them back down into the Sasol for a year. And now when they've come back, they're far more mature. They're far more orientated with the fundamentals that I try to put in place into the Sasol structure as well. And they've fitted in so much better.
The word ambition gets thrown around a lot in football, but it wouldn't be fair to leave without asking about that very subject and how big the drive is to take down the high-flying Mamelodi Sundowns, who are traveling the world and enjoying the perks of being domestic and African champions.
If you look at the logs, the top 4 teams are grinding it out. Also watching Sundowns play at that level in the Women's Cup, you can see that Sundowns is fantastic as a team, but we are still behind as a country. We play against these teams week in and week out, so we're not very far off. It's just small little details, and I think we just got to keep setting our goals, and hopefully we'll be there soon.
It's become so competitive. Women's football is being competitive, and you know, thanks to Hollywood Bet for providing that platform for women in our country to play nationally, not only in your own region but also provincially. So it's amazing to have such a league and to have such structures in the women's game, and I can just see it growing from here.
Well, there you have it. Time has run out, and we had a lot of fun this Saturday. Looking forward to seeing you next Saturday. Thank you so much to Mr. LuaLua, Mr. McGregor, as well as Mr. Skosana, and thank you so much for you at home. From myself, Susan Mapena, and the rest of the team, click, click, bang.